Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this free masterclass on how to activate your soul gifts. In this masterclass, we'll be learning how to lead a life that is fully in alignment with your soul gifts and purpose. My name is Joanna Miller, and I'm the founder of Indigo Moon Academy, where I offer soul coaching, online spiritual learning programs, and intuitive readings. My biggest aim in life is to help my clients access their soul gifts and live fully in alignment with who they are. In this course, we'll be covering how we can learn to live in alignment with our soul, how we can get clear on our soul gifts and purpose, and how to start taking aligned action today towards your dreams. I believe that when you are fully in alignment with your soul, you are accessing your higher self and you're more able to make decisions that are in alignment with your authentic self. So life flows more easily. From the book, The Seat of the Soul, I love this quote because it states so strongly what the soul is. So when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the highest good, you tap into the power of the soul. So when you align your thoughts, your energy, your belief systems with your heart, and you come from that higher place, you are accessing your soul's light. So what is the soul? So there isn't no definitive answer, and everybody gives a different meaning to what the soul is. So I can only give you what my interpretation is of the soul. So I believe that the soul is your authentic inner light. It is who you are, free from constraints and programming placed upon us from society. It is our authentic nature and the light of who we truly are. And that when we depart this world, it is our soul that departs. So our soul never dies. It has infinite wisdom within it. And when we can learn to tap into that infinite wisdom, that divine light, we are able to take more aligned action towards our dreams. But those dreams come from a higher place. Those dreams are more in alignment with who we are. So I love this quote from Krista McKinnon that states, "It is our soul that provides us with a kind of inner voice, a moral compass and direction. It is our soul that we hear as this little voice inside, reminding us that there is more than we can become. And it is our soul that suffers when we don't nourish it by integrating a spiritual component into our lives and striving to give our lives meaning and purpose." So for me, our soul can be our inner compass. It is our light that directs us towards a path that is more in alignment with love, compassion, and joy. So how do we know when it's our soul speaking to us versus our ego? So our ego is that it's not a negative thing, although it may come across as something negative. In fact, our ego has a really powerful way of keeping us safe because it tells us when we're moving into something dangerous or when we're doing something that might be outside our comfort zones. The problem with the ego is, though, it sends these alarming signals, those alarm bells, when we might be just doing something that makes it a little bit uncomfortable. We're not doing something completely dangerous, but we're doing something a little bit that causes discomfort in our bodies. So our ego tries to keep us safe, but it comes from a place of fear. But when you learn to live more in alignment with your soul, you learn to trust that little quiet inner voice that tells you when you're following the path of your heart. So the soul speaks in a positive and encouraging way. It comes from a place of higher self, where you're bringing through information from your higher self that is very positive and uplifting. When our ego speaks to us, it's very loud. It comes from a place of fear and tells us when we're doing something that it feels is wrong. When our soul calls on us, it calls on you to access your inner mind and dreams. So when you're daydreaming, when you're moving into that quiet place of stillness, and you feel that expansion in your heart, that is your soul speaking to you. It comes through with images and insights that just maybe come out of nowhere, but they're coming through via your intuition. The ego, however, is more rooted within our self-identity. So it uses our memories from the past in order to formulate an idea of what's going to happen in the future. But it's not based on fact, and it's not based on the present moment. Instead, it's always maybe catastrophizing about all the things that could go wrong. But our soul asks us to wonder and dream and imagine, what if it could go right? And our soul very much guides us onto a path towards oneness and love, because that is a vibration that our soul connects to, is the frequency of love. So it only ever directs us towards something that is good. However, the ego, when it's based in fear, and when it talks to us from a place of fear, is very much identified with the me versus the world, which means that it can cause negative thinking, affirming beliefs such as, this has happened to me because, or the world is against me. All of those things can be like our self-identity telling us that our ego is bringing us through all this information that what happened in the past could happen in the future if it was something negative. So it goes through these cycles where it tells us in our mind all the bad things that could happen because it may have happened before. Whilst our soul only speaks through a frequency of love, it only speaks about oneness and unconditional acceptance and joy. So how can we tap into our soul? So I wanted to bring you an exercise that would be able to help you move into a space of your soul in a couple of minutes. Because accessing your soul is easy. It just takes a daily practice. So what I want you to do, if you can, close your eyes or feel free to keep them open and just bring awareness to your heart. And just do a big sigh as if you're releasing all the sort of stress from the day, and imagine as you're sighing, you're bringing that energy to your heart. So you're going, and you're just dropping into your heart. Good. And now just breathe as if you're imagining your breath going into your heart. And visualize a light there. It might be small to start with, but just visualize an orb of white light. And as you breathe into your heart, imagine this light getting bigger, expanding, and just slowly tap into that frequency of that light. What does it feel like? Imagine it expanding outwards, surrounding your heart. Feel free to place your hand gently over your heart and just tap into the energy there. Notice the vibration, that feeling of expansion and love. That is your soul. And so if you just learn to drop into your heart, imagine breathing there and imagine opening up your heart. And then feel into your soul. And if you want, you can just simply state an intention for your soul to come forward. And allow it to speak to you. It might speak through images, words, symbols, or just feelings. Just trust as the energy moves through you. So that is an exercise you can do daily to bring you in alignment with your soul. So how do we start living in alignment with our soul? What is it we can do to truly live in alignment with who we are? The main one is finding your joy, finding your passion. What is it that you love to do? What lights you up? If you feel that's a difficult question to answer, take a moment to think back on when you were a child. What did you love to do as a child? What made you feel this sense of oneness and love and excitement? Maybe you love to draw, be creative, create dream worlds, create stories. Maybe you love to be out in nature and be with animals and plants and just visualize the world around you. Or maybe you also love being around animals, your pets. You wanted to protect them. You wanted to connect to them. The important thing is to find what lights you up, what brings you joy. And when we find that piece of joy, that passion, that is your soul. That is your soul gift and your soul purpose coming through. Because we're all innately gifted in different ways. We all have our unique energy, our unique blueprint. Our soul has a blueprint. And we all have that gift within us. But all you have to do is just be who you are. And it's a simple, but it actually is quite difficult for people to do because they've got all these layers of programming, all these layers of blocks that they need to go through in order to access who they are. So often we're being told who we need to be. As children, we're being told we need to get good grades. We need to be studious. We need to stay at school every day. We need to not daydream, not let our imaginations run wild. We can have big dreams when we're 9, 10, but when we get to our adult life, no, we need to put those dreams to the side and start working, start thinking about family and home life, instability. But all these things shut us down from our creative side, our natural inner joy and gifts. So a lot of us don't have access to our soul gifts because we've shut them down. And that's nothing to do with you. It's not our fault. It's just the way we've been programmed. And that's not a blame on the people who have looked after us, our parents, because again, those layers of programming has gone through generations. But this is something that we can heal within ourselves now. We can say to ourselves, no, we can live in alignment with who we are, with our joy now. So state that to yourself now. Make that promise to yourself that from today, you will start living in alignment with your soul's light. You'll start trusting where you're being guided to the places of joy, to the places that give you happiness and compassion. So what we'll do is a soul connection exercise for a few minutes. And this is just going to expand on the exercise we just did a few minutes ago where we're connecting to our heart. So for this one, I do want you to close your eyes if you can. If you're not able to right now, feel free to pause the video and come back to it. But I do want you to close your eyes. And I want you just to breathe again into your heart space and just connect to your heart again. And then just visualize that light that's there. And just imagine again breathing into your soul's light. And just feel that light expanding outwards. And as you breathe deeply in, imagine this beautiful light start to expand out from your heart. And feel, see or sense it moving outwards around your whole energy field. Allow yourself to move into this deeper state of peace and awareness as we now fully embody our soul and our soul's light. And just breathe deeply in again and imagine your whole energy field now is lighting up with this high frequency, high vibrational light that we are bringing our soul's light within and around us, so that every part, every aspect of our being, to our very cells, we are now fully embodying our soul. And just bring awareness back to your heart, and just feel that expansion of unconditional love moving outwards. And just feel that love now moving out to the whole universe. And just multiply it by 1,000. And now just bring your energy back into your heart space. And just know that you can access your soul whenever you need to. Just take another deep breath in, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So a simple soul connection exercise is all about connecting and dropping into your heart center, because that's where your soul resides. So when you connect to your heart, you're connecting to your soul's light. So just do that exercise as often as you can to start living fully in alignment with your soul. So now that we know how to connect to our soul, how do we tap into our purpose? What is our reason for being? So this is an important question, because your soul purpose is not something that you do. It is what and who you are. So your soul purpose isn't this idea, because I think sometimes we get our soul purpose and what we want our purpose to be a little mixed up. Because our soul purpose is more in alignment with what our soul is guiding us towards. So that's usually what brings us joy, happiness, and passion. But sometimes people think, oh, but I want the money, I want the cars, I want the house, I want the husband, I want the kids. That's my purpose. Your purpose is a lot more than that. It's a lot more authentic than that. That's something that we're told to dream of. That's something that we're told to strive towards. But our soul purpose isn't always that. So your soul purpose can be a whole different number of things. It could evolve as you evolve. So my soul purpose, between the ages of 7 and 21, I thought my only purpose for being here was to work with animals, to do wildlife conservation. And by the time I was 12, I decided I'm going to get that master's degree, I'm going to do wildlife conservation, and I'm going to go travel the world. That was my goal. That was my ambition. That was my plan. That's what I thought my purpose was. And once I did all that, once I actually completed my master's degree, I realized that wasn't my purpose. That wasn't who I was. It wasn't who I thought I was. And I decided I didn't know what I was anymore, and I got completely lost for a long time. And that feeling of being lost is sometimes called the dark night of the soul, where we feel like we've gone into the depths of the darkness and we're moving through periods of deep depression and anxiety, and we've got all these thoughts, this crisis going on around us, and we don't know who we are anymore. We've lost our center. So you can find your center if you do those exercises I shared about connecting to your soul and dropping into your heart. Once you do more of those exercises, you're more able to easily tap into that center, and you already know who you are, because your soul already knows who you are. Your soul already knows your gift, your purpose, your reason, your light. It's already got that within it. You just need to learn how to tap into it and listen to it. So your soul is a lot grander than what we can strive for in ourselves. So my soul now guides me towards doing this work, even though it terrifies me. It absolutely terrifies me to do videos and talk to public. But this is what my soul is calling me to do. And that's another thing that's interesting about when we follow the soul. It does sometimes guide us to do things that are outside our comfort zone. It's not something dangerous. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen to me is get bad reviews or people tell me I'm rubbish, but that's only going to hurt my ego. That's not going to hurt my soul. I'm doing this because it's something that lights me up. I love sharing this information. So that's coming from my soul. The work I do from here, the work I'm sharing with you today, that's from my soul. But my soul is also about other things. It's about being a mum. It's about having lots of pets. I still rescue animals all the time, even though I can't do conservation in the way I wanted to. I'm still surrounded by animals, which has always been my dream. I've got 2 dogs, 2 rabbits, hamster, spiders now. So I have got that. And I need to remind myself sometimes when I do feel a bit lost that I have it all. My soul has called me towards those things that brings me light, brings me love, and I'm really lucky. So your soul purpose is something higher than what you do, because it's your heart's calling. It's your heart's true calling. So we can learn what your soul purpose is by living more in alignment with your heart. And we do this by learning to quiet the negative ego mind and drop more into our heart space. And then the next part is really learning how to be honest. I mean truly honest with yourself. Sometimes we can say and do things that we don't want to do, that isn't in alignment, but we feel like we have to. But that all stifles our soul's light because we're not surrendering to who we truly are. So be authentic, even if it scares you. Be who you truly are and surrender to that. And start trusting your intuition more, as your intuition is your guiding star. It's through our intuition that our soul speaks to us. And our intuition can be such a pivotal part of that learning journey. And we'll be talking a wee bit more about it in a few minutes. But first, I want you to get in alignment with your heart, because our heart is our compass. And when we start living in alignment with our heart, we can more easily trust our intuition. We can cut through all those blocks and fears that come up when our intuition's guiding us towards something. When we start tapping into our heart. So we've tapped into our soul's light within our heart, but how do we live in alignment with our heart? And it's simple. I just want you to bring awareness to it. That's it. I just want you to feel into your heart and place your hands over your heart. And just feel the beat of your heart. What does it feel like in your chest? And just notice the sensations from your heart. And now I just want you to imagine that somebody is standing before you. And this could be anybody in your life, whether it's a child, a parent, a family member, a friend, even a pet. Somebody that is close to you that you feel unconditional love for. And imagine them smiling back at you. And then I just want you to imagine sending love from your heart. And it can help to visualize sending this as this beam of pink light from your heart to theirs. And just feel that sense of expansion in your heart as you send them love, as you imagine them surrounded by this warm, loving energy. And you feel yourself smiling as well because you're bringing so much joy to yourself by sending that love outwards. And then just imagine the universe sending that feeling of love that you send back to you. And just imagine that energy of love being multiplied by 10. So we're 10 times more fully in alignment with the energy of love, and then multiply it by 100, and then by 1,000, so that every cell of your being is vibrating with a frequency of love. And you just feel that loving energy surrounding you, creating this bubble of light around you, protecting you. And know that power you're feeling right now in your heart, that's coming from you. That is your innate gift and power. Just continue breathing into that energy for a few moments. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring awareness back to your room. Make sure you're grounded. Feel free to drink some water. So how did you find that exercise? It's a powerful one. And if you find it a bit of a struggle, don't worry. You can go back to it. It's a really easy visualization to help you grasp what the energy of your heart feels like. When we tap into that power and align with it, we can expand that energy outward. So we incorporate it into our being. We incorporate the energy of love into every part of our being. And you'll be wondering, what has this got to do with my soul purpose and soul gifts? The answer is everything. Because when we start dropping into our heart, connecting to our soul's light, we start opening up our awareness and our intuition to the signs and synchronicities coming from the universe and around us and within us, all guiding us towards our soul gifts and purpose. So learning to tap into your heart and tapping into your soul's light are powerful visualizations that you can start right now in order to start really incorporating that energy and start bringing more space, more stillness to allow that energy to flow through you, so you can start more clearly seeing the signs and images and trusting. So finally, how do we start taking aligned action towards our soul gifts? How can we start grounding this energy into reality? So it's all very well accessing this beautiful energy around and within us, but if we don't take action on it, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to go back to feeling stuck again. So one way in which I've mentioned is becoming more intuitive. Our intuition is key to accessing your soul's light and gifts. So how do we become more intuitive? One way is really learning to become more comfortable in stillness. So often we're told to be busy, to be doing this, to have to-do lists. We're told by social media that we need to be posting more or showcasing our lives more, or having to live at this high level of standard that is, to me, is crazy and unattainable and can cause so much anxiety and a feeling of stuckness. So it's important to just be okay with being still, just without the noise around you. And it'll be uncomfortable to start with, this stillness. But once you learn to meditate and breathe more And meditation's a practice. It's not something that you can just start today and immediately get it. It's something that you learn to incorporate into your daily routine so that it becomes more comfortable. But it takes time. So I'd start with just maybe a minute or two a day. Just practice breathing into your heart, doing the soul connection exercise and visualizations, and just a few minutes of that, and then go back into your day. But then start doing it a little bit more and more. And even just while you're sitting, maybe doing a mundane task like washing the dishes, just drop into your heart and just practice a bit of stillness. And the other way is trusting the gentle nudges from your soul. So our soul talks to us through our intuition, but also talks to us through our body. Our body is important to listen to because it's through our body that we can more clearly sense and feel the guidance that's coming from our intuition and soul. So trust that gut instinct and practice. It might be that if you've got a work meeting coming up and you're walking into a room and you get this sudden feeling, this horrible feeling in your belly, this drop that, I don't want to do this. This doesn't feel right. Trust that. Notice it. Ask yourself, why doesn't it feel right? Where is this feeling coming from? Or maybe you've got this new exciting adventure coming up or this opportunity and it feels really scary when you think about it. But then when you drop into your soul, you feel this expansion, this lightness coming through. Why? Why do you feel that energy? What is it telling you? Be curious and ask questions. And open your heart to what could be. So if you're feeling stuck, say to yourself, what if? What if I did this? What if I took this step? What if I did this action? What would that look like? And you can practice visualizing what it could look like. Imagine you stepping forward and you're doing that you're taking that opportunity. Imagine the energy behind it. Feel yourself feeling that joy, that excitement. So tap into that. Be curious. So what other ways can we be more intuitive? One way, as I've mentioned, is learning to practice stillness and quiet in the mind. Another is trusting your imagination. Allow yourself to daydream. So often as children, we're told to stop daydreaming, stop thinking about, there's a time and place for it, and especially school. A lot of school takes away that creative side and makes us focus on the practical, the things that our society tells us we need to be more useful. But is that really in alignment with our soul? So allow yourself to daydream. What is your daydreams? What is coming through? If you could live your dream life now, what would it look like? What would it feel like? And what would you be doing? And feel that expansion in your heart when you think about your dreams and write them down. And this is the important step. Write down what's coming through. Where your intuition is guiding you, write them down. If you feel like you've had an important dream or an important insight in a meditation or something's just suddenly dropped into your mind out of nowhere, try and write it down if you could. Maybe if you've got an app on your phone, if you've got a phone beside you or a notebook, have something that's specially prepared just for those intuitive insights and start putting them together. That way we're taking grounded action. And as I mentioned, bring deeper awareness to your body. Your body is important. It is telling you what's right for you and what isn't. And then simply ask. I think this is a step sometimes we forget because we think, we have to go through all these, these spiritual techniques and tools and practices. Once you learn to access that stillness and that in your heart, just ask, simply ask. What is it that I'm meant to be here for? And a good one to ask is, how can I be of service today? That's my favorite question. And I ask it almost every day. How can I be of service? And I think that that word service means something, a greater purpose than what we are. Like it's a purpose of how can we spread joy and love today? Maybe it's just to be yourself, or maybe it's to do this project that you've been putting off, or maybe like me, it's to do this talk that terrifies me. But just ask, and once you ask, allow stillness and allow the answer to come through. And once you do that, you can start taking aligned action from your heart, and you can start trusting more where your heart is guiding you. So I hope this talk helped you in really deepening your spiritual practice and how to get clear on your soul gifts and purpose. And I hope that once you do some of these visualizations and techniques on a daily basis, I've given you some tools that you can take away today to start doing that. You can start noticing those synchronicities, notice where your intuition is guiding you. So I'm really excited on the journey that you're going to take, and I'd love for you to share with me how you're getting on and how you enjoyed the talk and what came through. But I am so excited to have done this today for you, and I wanted to let you know that if you are wanting to deepen your spiritual journey and need some support on that, I offer a 12-week coaching program, which is so amazing because at the end of it, you become a Reiki level 2 healer. So what I do in this course is I teach you everything that I've learned in my last 20 years doing this work, helping clients access their soul gifts and tap into their energy. I help you move through your energetic blocks. I help you tap into the energy field within and around you. I help you to become this innate, incredible healer. And you can use the Reiki level 2 for others as well as yourself. So if this could be a great next step for you to become a Reiki practitioner, or you end up coming from this course not only with all the tools and everything you need to become a great energy healer, but you also come away with it having clarity on your soul purpose. And this course is so intense. I loved it. I did it with a client not that long ago, and he came out of it with incredible insights that I was so incredible to hear and so proud of. But it's such a powerful coaching program. So you get 12 weeks with me. We do 1-to-1 hour sessions where I help you clear energy blocks. I do Reiki and energy healing and angel healing on you. You also get 12 energy readings, angel readings, to help you tap into, have more deeper clarity and insight into what your gifts are and what maybe blocks are coming up for you. So it's very intense. And then on top of that, you also have workbooks, you have coaching videos to go through, and meditations as well as activation. So it's huge, it's massive, and I'm so proud of it and I love doing it. So this is on offer just now, and if you'd like to learn more, then feel free to check out my website, indigomoonacademy.com, or feel free to just give me a message and ask if you'd like to know more. I'd be happy to send you information. So thank you so much for watching and taking time to go through this video and let me brabble on. But thank you, and I send you so much love. Thank you.